Hello, this is Jim and I live in Texas, and today I'm at Alamo Triumph BMW in San Antonio, Texas, where the nice folks here have brought the Triumph demo truck, and we're going to be I'm going to be riding a Sprint ST here in about 30-40 minutes. I just sat on it. It's probably the tallest bike I could possibly ride. I think it's the same seat height as my brother's Triumph, so I'm going to be on my tippy toes, but I'm really looking forward to it. So this is the group prior to mine fixing to take off. Oh, they're a lot more organized than the Victory demo team was. The Victory demo team, the start, I found on group rides, the start is a very dangerous time if it's not well organized, because you'll get 2 or 3 people headed for the same spot. But these guys are doing it right, so that's a good sign. So I'm looking forward to riding the Triumph Sprint. I'll walk over here and we'll just look at, I think this is what I'm going to wind up. Okay. It's the class of bike that I want to get. It's chain drive, which is unfortunate, but it does have a bit of a fairing and a relatively upright riding position. 1,050 liters. Pretty paint job. So I'm looking forward to giving this baby a try. Look at a cockpit here. Pretty much the same as on my brother's Speed Triple. Yeah, this is the same bike as that, really, I think. Because I've ridden these before, and this is just like it, except for the fairing. I'm not sure, but that's what I think.
What, do you like it?
Oh, it's sweet. It's really sweet. The nice thing about it, it's so short, but the good thing about it is, when you pull up to a stop sign or something, it's almost like a trials bike.
Oh,
it is so well balanced that I could almost stop and just not put my feet down.
Yeah,
it was very nice.
That's how this is too.
You know, so I never had any feeling like it was going to try to be never did feel the least bit top heavy. About to throw me over. The clutch is very light. I was really surprised how light it is. The only thing I didn't like is I would get tired. My wrist would get tired. I'd have to have bar risers, but other than that, it's sweet.
Got needed grips too. Yep.
Yeah. No, this is a very sweet bike.
Price that? Do you have any idea what they charge for that bike?
I have no idea. I think it's comparable with a VFR, Honda VFR probably, but I don't know. Very nice bike. Very powerful, just like the Speed Triple. You twist the throttle and this thing takes off like a rocket. The front brake is a real brake. It will stop you. Triumph Speed Triple, Triumph Demo Day. Be there or be square. The pedal position was really good. I think a taller person would maybe find the pedal position uncomfortable, because I found it really perfect. My knees were not too scrunched up, you know. I didn't feel like, you know, my knees circulation was being cut off. I think a taller person might want to lower those the pedals and the pegs, but for me it was fine. Now I'm up on my tippy toes when this thing stops, and the first couple of stop signs I was a little anxious. Thank you, my brother David, for letting me ride a Speed Triple before I rode this one, because you know, that gave me the confidence. I knew I could do it. Look at that big chain that thing's got. Look at the big chain. I guess this is probably, I haven't ridden a Honda VFR yet, but I bet it's very comparable to that. It's some more on the sport side of the sport touring balance, you know, continuum. Walk down here, look at some of these other Triumphs. Speed Triple, very similar to what I just rode, I think. The pegs are a little further back. I see that's a difference. More in a racing position. But interestingly, the Speed Triple's handlebars I'd almost rather have than what's on the Sprint. Because I didn't feel like I was leaning quite as far forward on the Speed Triple. So what I needed to take those handlebars and put them on that bike. Bonneville, if I had more time, I'd ride that just for old time's sake. Because being a child of the late 60s and early 70s, you know, that's what motorcycles, you know, used to look like. 675 Triple, very racy looking bike, you know. Look how far down his bars are. These are really, really nice bikes. Now there's the ultimate one. If I could put $20,000, if I could put $20,000 into a motorcycle, there's my motorcycle. Because that pretty much has, I think it's the ultimate sport tour, at least until the final drive blows up. But it's awfully pricey, awfully pricey. That's a BMW 1200 RT. Now look at that windshield that fella's got on that. That's what you call a windshield. I mean, that makes the gull wing windshield look like a fly screen. Wandered into the dealership here at Alamo BMW Triumph, and they have an FJR, used FJR here. And I'm really glad they did. This is a little bit lower than the Sprint. If you can ride the Sprint, you can ride this. Now it's still on my toes, but not on my tippy toes the way I was on the Sprint. And I believe that seat's got some lowering. It can be adjusted even lower. This is an AE model of the FJR, which means it has an electric clutch. Notice, no clutch lever. It's a paddle shifter like a Formula One car. And here's a Honda ST, which is very tempting. The one that really, my friend has one of these that really got me into it. Notice the tip over wings. Very nice to have. Very nice to have. This $6,300, 31,000 miles. These are good for hundreds of thousands of miles, so this will probably be a good buy too. But I think I like the FJR. Sure looking forward to riding one maybe next weekend. Here's a BMW F800 ST, very comparable to the Sprint ST I just rode and the Honda VFR. And this comes in a low frame version for us short guys. The sticker on this is 1305. It's not quite as much a motorcycle as a FJR, I don't think, but it's pretty nice. I haven't ruled this out. It's a belt drive, which is maybe a good compromise between a shaft and a chain. Humongous muffler like so many of the bikes have now. Pretty nice bike, and the BMW dealer says when I'm serious he'll let me ride his. And here's another R1200 RT. Really, really sweet. Also available in a low frame version for us short guys. And there's a Moto Guzzi. Pretty interesting bike. This is Jim, and I live in Texas.